Excellent job by Jamie Eisenberg, CBS Sports fantasy football expert. And, of course, all of our guests on ZASLOW Show 2.0 are brought to us by Johnny Cuba. Stay tranquilo. Right now, you can pick up specials. 6 packs of Johnny Cuba for the holidays throughout this holiday season. You got great deals going on right now at Winn-Dixie and Fresco y Mas. You could also pick up at Sedano's and Presidente. European roots with a Caribbean soul. That is the beer of choice on ZASLOW Show 2.0. And remember, Johnny Cuba's mantra, stay tranquilo. Coming up in a little bit, we'll talk to NFL Network, host of NFL Total Access, is MJ Acosta Ruiz. She will join us to do a little Dolphins. She is a huge Dolphins fan. She has represented the Dolphins. I already told you that. You know that. So MJ will join us coming up in a little bit here. The Panthers last night, obviously super frustrating. You had a lot of Penguins fans, it looks like. It looked like on television there. Penguins are popular. What are you going to do? I tweeted this out last night. It's one of my favorite things in sports. The Penguins, the Steelers, the Pirates, all black and gold. I dig that. Why don't more cities do that? Now, it's hard to do it now because all the teams have colors, but why didn't more cities do that at the start when they had one team and then they get another one and let's make it the same color scheme? And I think it's one of the cooler things in sports. Steelers, Pirates, Penguins, they're all the same colors. All black and gold. I think it's really cool. Anyway, that's a weird thing that I've always thought was fun. And by the way, if you got questions, you got fantasy football questions that Jamie didn't answer there, you could always hit him up at Jamie Eisenberg, Jamie with a Y on Twitter, and he'll help you out. So anyway, the Panthers last night lose 4-2. I don't have a whole lot for you. I mean, they're crushed by injuries, and the plague is running its way through that dressing room. First, you had Barkov sick, then Lundell, then Knight. Now, Kachuk, I think Verhaeghe was sick. So Kachuk missed the game last night. You're still without Lundell. They're without Hornquist, long-term IR concussion. They're without Gudis. They got a bunch of injuries. But the team has been healthy, and they still haven't been, playing to the cow. I mean, look, we're doing this every day. I don't know what to tell you. I wake up in the morning, I cross my fingers that Paul Maurice is fired. He's not going to get fired. He's not going to be fired. And I know that they're trying to play a style so when they get to the postseason, they'll be able to win playoff games. Not if you don't make the playoffs. Not if you don't make the playoffs. And right now, there's no reason to believe this team's going to make the playoffs. There really isn't. I'll get back to the Heat. So again, the Panthers, they'll be in big game, not a big game. I'm not going to give you a spoiler, but we're going to get to big game, not a big game in a few minutes here. The Heat, though, I do want to mention one more thing about the Heat. Duncan Robinson, Max Strus he's been in a huge slump on this road trip. So Duncan Robinson has got some time. And I said this before, I said this on yesterday's show before last night's game. Duncan Robinson should play, man. Like, we go from a couple years ago where Duncan Robinson is trusted in the NBA Finals to not playing at all. I want to see, for a team that is not good offensively, they struggle in the half court. They're not good defensively either, all right? They are not a good defensive team. They play a ton of zone. And if you're playing a ton of zone, you could hide players like Duncan Robinson in that zone. I think Duncan should play. And he's been playing on this road trip. Now, Strus struggled again last night. Max Strus was 2 for 11 from 3 last night. Look at Strus on this road trip, all right? Last night, he was 2 of 11 from 3. The game before that, 2 of 7. The game before that, 3 of 12 at Indiana. So far on this road trip, Strus is 7 of 30 from 3. So Robinson's gotten to play. Now, last night, Robinson struggled also. He was 2 of 11. But Robinson's a threat when he's out there, man. I want to see him continue to play. I know right now it's because of injuries. You had no Bam last night, no Lowry last night. And shout out, by the way, Orlando Robinson, who was called back up to the club. 9.6 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks off the bench. That's the kind of big man production you can live with. That's an excellent job out of him. So, good job there. I just wanted to throw that out there again about Duncan Robinson. Anyway, you know what time it is. It's Friday. There's so much going on this weekend. And you're saying to yourself, ZASLOW, I gotta know. Is it a big game or is it not a big game? Come on, let's do it. Big game or not a big game, every Friday at this time, you know what I'm talking about. Now, if you need a place to watch these big games, Briny Irish Pub, BrinyPubPompano.com. They got live music every single night, all right? And, of course, every day you got the Briny Hour. That's happy hour. You got the Briny Hour from 5 to 7 every day. If you're looking for a place to watch games, Briny Pub Pompano, for instance, tonight you come on out. You get dinner. You get drinks at the beach. You got great local craft beer on tap. You got fish and chips. You got mahi tacos. You got barbecue ribs, all right? Briny Irish Pub, world's greatest upscale dive bar. It's on Atlantic Boulevard all the way out to the Atlantic. Now, don't drive into the Atlantic. You park your car behind the pub, free parking, they'll validate you, all right? Free parking right behind the pub, and they'll validate you. So, Briny Irish Pub, tonight you got live music actually starting at 4 p.m. Briny Pub Pompano, that's your spot for all the big games. Big game or not a big game, let's get to it tonight. Friday night. 8 p.m. Fox. WWE SmackDown. That's right. The Tribal Chief returns. He's going to be honoring Sami Zayn in some fashion. What does he have in store for the honorary Uce? They're in Chicago tonight, but most importantly, Roman Reigns is back. This is his first appearance since the Bloodline won War Games. WWE SmackDown tonight. That's a big game. If the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the WWE Undisputed World Champion, if he's on the program, that's a big game. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., Bally Sports Sun. Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, live from Mexico City. The Heat are looking for a fourth consecutive win. They're looking to sweep this road trip. It would get them over 500 for the first time this season. That's right. You should have... Lowry's probably going to be playing. He rested last night. You got to rest. You got to rest. Everybody knows the NBA player. They love not playing. Bam, is he going to be available tomorrow after missing yesterday? He's been dealing with an ankle issue. We'll see. And Jimmy should obviously be good to go. Tyler is having an historic stretch right now. No player in the history of the league before Tyler Herro ever went back-to-back days with at least 9 made three-point field goals. He had 9 makes and 35 points on Wednesday night. He had 10 makes, ties a franchise record with Mario Chalmers and Brian Shaw, and Duncan Robinson, 41 points last night. Heat Spurs tomorrow. That's a big game because they're trying to get over 500. Otherwise I would say not a big game. But they're trying to get over 500 for the first time this year. So that's a big game. Also Saturday, 7:30. Bally Sports Florida. That channel sucks. There's always audio issues. How about a couple games ago? There weren't audio issues, but you didn't have the score graphic. No score bug. Just for half the first period, you had no graphics on the screen. Gold, you had to keep telling you how much time was left in the period. It's a disgrace, that channel. Panthers at Devils. The Panthers, they're several games under 500. The Devils are one of the best teams in the league this year. The Panthers are the league's biggest disappointment. Panthers at Devils tomorrow night, not a big game. I mean, it's a big game to me, but I got to be fair. The Panthers, they stink. And the Devils are awesome. The Panthers are going to get smacked, not a big game. Saturday night, 8:15, NFL Network. Miami Dolphins at Buffalo Bills. They're expecting about 7 or so inches of snow tomorrow night. It's going to be heavy winds, and Tua's going to go out there, and he's going to sling that shit. He's going to sling that ball all over the place. He doesn't care about the wind. And the Dolphins are going to run on that Buffalo defense. And the Dolphin defense is going to get a couple turnovers. And they're going to get after Josh Allen because Bradley Chubb is helping opening things up for guys like Jalen Phillips. And the Dolphins are going to go into Buffalo and they're going to get themselves a monster Week 15 win. Dolphins at Bills. That's a big game. You know what I'm talking about. I got one more for you. Sunday at 10 a.m. Fox. World Cup Finals. Argentina versus France. Leo Messi versus Kylian Mbappe. France, of course, is the defending World Cup champion. Messi has never won a World Cup. You got to go back, I think, almost 40 years the last time Argentina, Diego Maradona, won the World Cup. This is a monster. It's going to do very big numbers. You like that it's at 10 a.m. right before your NFL action gets going on Sunday. We're a Messi household. We like Argentina. My wife's family's Argentinian. We're rooting hard for Messi on Sunday. Argentina versus France, World Cup final. That's a big match. You see what I did there? Big match or not big match, that's a big match right there. And that is another edition of Big Game or Not a Big Game.